Welcome again to Jan Wants to Sail. Last week we were sailing in Greece, and today I want to show to you all what we figured out about this boat, about the area, about the experience. So the journey started in the Alimos Marina in Athens, and before we really go into the details of sailing and how it handles, let's start with the room tour. The boat was built in 2021. Length is 12.04 meters, width is 4.29, depth 1 meter 68. It was a 3-cabin 2-head version with a Yanmar 57 horsepower engine. So before we really go into depth, into the details, let's have a look around. This boat is a very standard charter boat that you can get pretty much all around now, with a self-tacking furling jib with a standard anchor. This will be a topic a little bit later. It has an in-mast furling mainsail, and all the lines are on deck, and it's easy to handle, easy to walk around. Quite a wide deck. Only this didn't have the installations for the bigger Genoa, so there was no winch. The steering was very nice, was very precise. Only the steering wires were a little bit loose, so you could see scratches on the rudder machinery. But nevertheless, everything worked fine. Only you had a little bit play in this particular boat. No big issue. Everything was good for us. The storage for the fenders is quite large. We had 8 fenders in this compartment here, easy to store. And when looking around, also there were some other storage areas below the seats. Those were not so big. They had gas struts, very comfortable. The swim ladder was stored here, which was not so nice because every time when you wanted to go swimming, you had to dig it out. On this side, there was a life raft and also the secondary anchor and all the lines. And the secondary anchor will become a topic later as well. It has a fusion radio with loudspeakers all around. Was also nice. The table in the cockpit was shaking a little bit. I don't know if this was normal for this boat. Maybe one of you has made a similar experience. The layout is quite large. Was very comfortable, nice wood. The quality for the interior was quite good for charter boats at this of this type, of this size. And everything was easy accessible. The cabin in the front was quite comfortable, good headroom. Also, it had its own bathroom. Especially in the bathroom, what was good was accessibility of the seacocks. So when you go into the marina, it's very easy and very quick to close the wastewater seacocks. It had an aftermarket installation of electric toilets, of the electric flush system, which was also quite fine. The table in the saloon could be lowered to have a huge bed. We didn't use it, we didn't try it out, but I trust it will work. Also in the second toilet, the seacocks are easily accessible. It was very nice to do so, to grab them. The woodwork, the joineries was fine. Only the screws for the shower door was too loose, and it broke when we were sailing. The bilges are quite large and easy accessible. Only you had to use this suction cup to get them up. Depth sounder here in the front cabin. There was additional storage below the bed. The person that has been sleeping here said the mattress was a little bit thin or hard. I couldn't judge it. I was always sleeping in the cockpit, so I always had wind around my nose, which I like quite a lot. The screws for the keel are mounted well, easy accessible, easy to check. And the aft bilge, there's also the bilge pump installed, so also for an easy maintenance. In this bilge, next to the kitchen, we stored our water, so it easily could store 2 6-pack of 1.5 liter bottles. So let's have a further look around. Below the stove, there's a gas shut-off valve and also the dustbin. Pretty much normally installed. Everything's there that you need. All the drawers are soft closing, and yeah, as you would expect on a boat like this. Additional storage is also below the oven. What I did not like too much was the refrigerator unit, which was a standard kitchen unit. Of course, it's easy to replace, it's easy to take out and to reinstall, but I don't think they're really suitable for long travels. This was a possible installation for another refrigerator unit, a top loader, but this boat was not equipped with this. Besides that, everything's there where you need it, how you need it, so quite nice. The installation, the electric panel is also normal, only you always had to read and look more closely what kind of buttons are there and how they're labeled. It had a small alternator to run to 30 volts. We had an extender for the VHF radio, which came to handy later, where we came into where our neighbouring boat came into an emergency situation. Also, this I will discuss a little bit later. For this first look around, everyone's helping to check for any defects, to check if everything is fine. So we all keep our eyes open, and I hope we saw and found everything that was not all right. But this boat, despite of the age of 2.5, 3 years, having done 3 seasons, it was quite in a good condition. Everything's fine. And yeah, the Yanmar engine, 57 horse, I like it a lot. There was some other quirk, which I really did not like, but also this we will see later. Maintenance was quite good. You could open the maintenance hatches on either side. So it's quite roomy, it's easy accessible, filters, and also the dips easy to access and to check the oil level and so on. This was one of the 2 aft cabins, which was their same from size and from the layout, only mirrored. They had USB charging cables below the light, but also 2 additional ones in this cigarette lighter assembly. The storage space was okay for a boat of this size. Just you must remember it's only 42 feet. Only ventilation in the aft cabins was not so nice. When you open the engine compartment from the port side, you could also easily see the dip to check the oil level. Some installation things. The handrail, the leather was rubbing a little bit down, but should be an easy fix as well. Now from inside, some scratches inside. The people who rented this boat before tried to open the bilges with some knives and forks, not using the suction cup. So on the first day, we left the marina and went on to the next island. The next island was Nisos Kea, and we went to the anchorage called Pisces. In Pisces, we had beautiful views. It was a nice first evening, with one exception. The anchor didn't hold well. So we tried to figure out what this was. We anchored very often. We tried to get the anchor into the ground, but didn't hold. So we used a secondary anchor to fix the boat. In this anchorage here, which was the most beautiful one in our eyes during this trip, we did lots of tests with the anchor. We were putting it down like 20 times, but the anchor always was landing on the side and never with the nose into the ground. So we called the charter company, and on the next morning they delivered a brand new anchor, and we tried that out, and it worked perfectly fine. What was the reason for this? I believe the anchor, it is hollow in the top, and it was empty. I suppose it should be filled with lead or some heavy stuff. Otherwise, the anchor always was ending up at the side. So if anyone has some experience with this, please let me know. So this was the first anchorage where we ended up with a new anchor. Of course, we had quite a look around. We checked into the maps before that everything is deep enough for us, because we expected also winds with changing directions. And we were also diving around the boat, but the anchor this time was holding very well. The first drop, it was perfect into the ground, so we were very happy at this place. But then at night, the wind was changing very much. We had gusts 25, 30 knots even, and it was turning around 360 degrees a couple of times. So there was a boat anchored closely next to us. Oh, this is Max fishing. There was a boat anchoring pretty close to us, and they ran ashore here where the mouse is pointing. So they were sitting on the rocks and they did not get free. So we tried to drag them out of the situation, and eventually they could leave. And in the morning, they were gone. Probably they couldn't sleep very well after all. So, but how is it with sailing with this boat? How is it on the engine? And the rudder feel is pretty good. It's pretty responsive. It has a single rudder. So navigation under engine is very easy, and the rudder control is very good. So for sailing, from the handling, it's very nice. But since it only has one inmast furling mainsail and also only one self-tacking jib, I would say it's underpowered. I would really prefer to have a boat with a larger Genoa and also with a bigger mainsail. But it's a charter boat. It's for pleasure craft, so you cannot expect to have everything. And safe taking jib. Here's with the new anchor. So let's have a look around of this boat when we were running on the engine. So on the engine, the boat speed was up to 7 knots. And yeah, so the engine is good. Only one issue that we have here is there's an air blower right at the helm, and it's making a hell lot of noise. Even with the motor, it's an idle. It's making really much noise, and it sounds like a kitchen blower or a kitchen exhaust pipe, or you might say like a snoring dragon. So it was very unpleasant for me. I think there should be another solution for this. Besides that, the boat is yeah, sailing nice. It's under rudder. It's good, controllable. Um, to my surprise, if you look at the bow, it is more a bulbous bow. It's not like a sharp peak cutting into the water. So it's like yeah, built for charter. Looks like you could crash right into the pier without damaging the boat. Yeah, it's the way it is, and but still I couldn't complain. The cabin in the bow was quite large, so I think this also all related to this. No, but we had really good time sailing around, steaming around, um, and yeah, the handling for the boat was very nice. What else could I say? This boat was equipped with solar panels. Unfortunately, we figured out at the end that they were quite dirty, so I think they could have contributed more to the energy. And also, every day we had quite a few motor hours. The wind situation was not very stable. We had winds um, from all wind directions, changing quite much between almost zero to 30 knots of wind speed, which we had at the last day. No, but for handling, the boat is nice. For sitting, it's nice sitting area, and yeah, so nice boat for this. The later we went into a small yeah, harbor uh, in the north of Kia again, and we were anchoring right to the pier. Um, in my last video, we already showed how to do the anchoring in the Greek marinas. You don't have moorings. You set the anchor and then you pull your stern to the pier and you lock yourself there. This anchorage here was very nice. Um, the name, what was the name again? I must check. The name was Perdica, right? So this was a very nice harbor in Aegina. Perdica, the name, and we also had beautiful dinner there and beautiful time. And from there on, we went back to Athens with another stop where we were swimming in the warm Mediterranean. even in November. So for us, although it was early November, this was a beautiful turn, perfect weather condition, perfect wind, and also very good conditions to really enjoy the holidays. So for the last anchorage, we were first tacking, and then we were taking in the mainsail. And as always, when we go, when we are looking for a space to anchor, we're driving around, checking everything, see where are rocks. We had a look before in the maps if everything was fine. And then we search the right place. One person is at the bow and looking into the water to check for seagrass, for rocks, and really trying to find a good spot for with sand with a good hold for the anchor. So also setting the mainsail, and it's easy in mast furling. It's self-explanatory if you've been sailing already with self-tacking jib and also with in-mast furling main. It's easy to handle. It's a no-brainer. The bathing platform was also very easy to set. It had hydraulic struts, so it was very lightweight and easy to drop, easy to pull up again with some steps. Only thing that was a little bit annoying was the additional bathing stairs that you had to dig them of the out of the hatch. What was the name again? I must improve my English. So here also you could see beautiful ground with lots of sand, and we just dropped the anchor into 4 to 5 meters depth. Checked the environment if there was something else to hit, and there was not. So anchor down and prepare for swimming. As I said, with the new anchor, this was really easy, and the anchor always had a good hold. But really, did any one of you have already an anchor with a hollow, with an empty spot inside, which was sealed off with a rubber pin? I'm really curious if we were just too stupid to set it properly, or if there was something else, or if the anchor was not good. As I said, with the new anchor, it did not slip once. Everything was fine for us. So from there on, we returned back to Athens, and this was the time with the strongest winds. We had regular winds between 20 and 25 knots, sometimes even gusting to 30. The boat speeds during this time by average was above 8 knots even, and in stronger gusts we peaked with 9.3 knots, but it was more surfing down the wave and pushed very much. But even though in this condition the sailing was smooth, was fine, was nice, and we really enjoyed that. So this was our charter in Greece. Thanks a lot, especially to Christos for the quick help, and subscribe for more. Next video will come soon. Thanks and bye.